better. So my dear friends, one question I would like to start with so that all our minds are really then aligned. So as you are aware, Lean as well as Six Sigma, both these approaches are highly successful, very, very powerful approaches. What are the two fundamental differences that you can list out in Lean as against Six Sigma? I
Lean
will
is
help
basically
you.
for
Waste
waste
reduction.
reduction,
Waste
Yes,
reduction.
very correct.
and
And
Six
Six
Sigma is
Sigma
more
is
contributed towards process reducing the process variations or make process more stable.
Perfect.
reduce
So
the
this,
Six
my dear
Sigma
friends,
better
is the
produce.
first
Good morning, sir.
fundamental difference. That is the primary focus of Lean. The primary focus of Lean is on waste elimination so that it makes our processes more and more efficient. Whereas the primary focus of Six Sigma is on reduction of variation and thereby reduction in the quality concerns, thereby increasing the effectiveness of our processes. That is the first primary difference. And please note my focus, my emphasis on the word primary. It's not that Lean is working only on efficiency and Six Sigma is working only on effectiveness. No. That's not the case. But the primary focus is varying. So that was the first big difference. Another difference is that, and there is no such thing that Six Sigma is better or Lean is better. It depends really on the nature of problems that we are attempting to solve. There are many problems, and Muthukumaran ji will agree, taking his experience from ABB, is that there are many problems that can be solved by direct observation on the shop floor and by involving teams and by Kaizen activities. However, there will definitely be some problems which cannot be solved, much more complex problems that will require a lot of data gathering, data analytics. So depending on the nature of the problem, we select which methodology we shall be using. Right? So my point is that depending on the nature of the problem, we select whether we are going to use the methodology of Lean or are we going to use the methodology of Six Sigma. And this really brings up the second fundamental difference. This fundamental difference is that Lean emphasizes that everyone in the team must be made capable. They must be involved in the process improvement procedure. When we go and attempt to improve the processes, everyone must be involved. Everyone in the process. And therefore, originally when it started, it used to be called company-wide quality control or the company-wide quality improvement, CWQC, CWQA, or TQM, that is total quality management. That means everyone in the organization, everyone in the process will be involved. Whereas in Six Sigma, because the nature of the problem is more complex, we will require a lot of analysis using statistics. Lot of analysis will be required for using sophisticated software tools. You are exposed to Minitab, one of the software that we use for statistical analysis. So Six Sigma, which very heavily depends on data and data analytics and uses statistical tools, therefore it requires super experts. So there is not too much of an emphasis on really involving everyone, like involving the operators and all, but the emphasis is more there on being able to collect the relevant data correctly and then being able to analyze that data with subject matter experts, with the help of Six Sigma experts, and find solutions to the complicated, highly complex problems where there are too many variables involved in the process. Everyone, Akanksha, Ashwin, Kumaranji, Ganesh, Hari, can you see that? Ganeshanji, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So, with that, I would like to take this opportunity to ask Muthu Kumaranji to give us two examples. One where he thinks that lean will be a good tool to solve a particular problem, and one and any example from your real life, Muthu Kumaranji, because you have such a rich
The
experience
lean
in
is very
industry.
good tool to eliminate because I am dealing with the project. So we start from the tender to completion of the project till handing over. So in this case, we are following, there are for traditional steps, sometimes which may be applicable, value added to the customer, sometimes it may not be applicable, or maybe customer don't like to pay, but at least that is part of the process. So there are many items was there. So with the help of lean, we have almost we are practicing this lean almost for the last 15 years in my division. So we are eliminating non-value added process. So the eliminating the waste, and the process is much improved. This is the best example I can see for the lean. Whereas for the Six Sigma is concerned, when it goes to the delivery and quality of the deliverables from ABB, that makes a lot of differences, like defects per parts in millions of units especially for the factories. And this is slowly implemented in engineering also, so that the delivery of the engineering documents in such a way that it is getting approval as a first pass yield. That's it. That is a best methodology which we are implementing now. Now this is slowly increasing into every steps. Without checklist or without process, nothing is moving. So the process itself is holding as a minimum cycle time, whichever the way it is happening. So this is a good improvement. Those who are the newcomer or the new learner, beginner, so everybody is open what to do, what not to do. So that makes very clear understanding on the job profiles, responsibility, and people makes happy. That's the final output.
Very good, Muthu Kumaranji. So, and I must also mention that ABB, incidentally, was one of the pioneer organizations which started this Six Sigma. So it was started at Motorola, then General Electric, then ABB. They are the organizations which took the lead in implementing the Six Sigma methodology highly successfully in their global operations. So with that opening discussion, and I must thank Akanksha once again. She is here. She has been really working and learning with us for quite some time. So that again, I can see a lot of familiar faces. So with all your with this opening discussion, let us really start developing a deep understanding about the fundamental concepts of lean methodology. So I will request once again to make this interaction more and more interactive, so that we can learn from each other. All of you are coming with such rich and such rich experience from so many wide different business verticals. And that is exactly what will make our sessions highly beneficial for all of us. So I invite all of you to interact, give examples, share your concerns, raise doubts if any. So in this first session, we are going to have a look at the relationship between the lean and Toyota production system, that is popularly known as TPS. We will quickly have a look between value adding and non-value adding activities. We will discuss what we mean by 3M and 7 wastes. And then yesterday probably you have discussed the value stream mapping, but the very purpose of the value stream mapping is that it makes us it helps us learn to see how to identify where the wastes are there in our process, and then we will see that one of the primary focus areas as a lean champion, we will also be really directed in managing the learning process, because ultimately as lean practitioners we believe that whatever we learn as an organization, that must be institutionalized, just as Muthu Kumaran ji has just mentioned in his last sentence, that thereby they find that what is to be done and what is not to be done, what are the good practices and what is to be avoided. That Muthu Kumaran ji is an example of our management of learning. In one department, in one project, we have identified that okay, this is what we shall be practicing and this is what we shall be avoiding. And that learning, if become institutionalized, if that learning is adopted throughout the organization, that is what makes a successful organization. So, who uses lean? Lean is used by the businesses or the organizations who want to increase their profitability and to sustain their growth. Both the things are very important. Not only we are looking at short-term successes, we are not looking at solving a couple of problems that are on our hand. Ashwin, Hariharanji. You see, the focus is not only on increasing the profitability by solving this problem or that problem, one problem or two problems, but also finding ways by which the solutions that we find, the best practices that we identify, become part and parcel of our organizational culture, our organization's knowledge. And that, my dear friends, is the key for sustaining the growth and profitability. You people are coming from very, very great organizations, and therefore probably you will not be able to resonate as much as someone coming from the MSME will be. When I give this example, that in MSME what typically happens, people find a problem, then they find a solution, they solve that problem, let's say in the month of January, but the problem will again come up in the month of February. It will keep coming because they just solve the problem once and do not really make it a part and parcel of their standard operating procedures on the one hand, and on the other hand, as a larger focus, they do not make it a part and parcel of their culture. Lean, my dear friends, is more about a cultural transformation. It really focuses and teaches the way how everyone thinks and works, and it starts with what everyone believes. So lean, my dear friends, is much more than a set of tools, much more than some kind of a conceptual learning. It is a cultural transformation. It happens across organization, at every level of the organization, and we want to convert everyone into a problem solver. Lean necessarily emphasizes that it's a way of thinking. Everyone agreeable with me? Show me a thumbs up if you are able to see that.
Yeah.
Now, so lean, if I want to define what exactly lean is in one simple sentence, is lean is about providing more and more of what the customer wants, while consuming less and less and less and less of resources. One single sentence definition of lean is this: provide more of what the customer wants while consuming less and less resources. This is known as, my dear friends, as identifying the value. These are the words you will come across very frequently. So we create value. What is the meaning of creating value? More and more of what the customer wants. So identify what the customer wants. Hope that you will realize that customer not only wants, and that is what we are going to discuss in a few minutes from now also, that customer not only wants the goods to be defect free, but the customer also wants them to be delivered as soon as possible. Yes or no? Customer also wants them to be aligned with the latest technology. Yes or no? Customer also wants not only the best of quality but at the lowest possible cost, lowest cost from the competitors. Can you see that? Therefore, we must focus and we must learn how to identify the value, what the customer wants. And that, my dear friends, is, and since all of you are part of this Lean Champion course, so I will really dare to take this opportunity that this particular difference, the focus of Lean on identifying what the customer wants, is really a fundamental difference why the popularity of Lean is increasing day by day, while the popularity of Six Sigma is stagnated. Can you see that? Because the primary focus of Six Sigma is on solving the problems. That it is in making your existing processes better and better. Muthukumaranji, although you are from ABB and who has been the pioneer, but I will dare say that the popularity of Six Sigma is not increasing. The organizations which initiated Six Sigma approach, including Motorola or General Electric, they are not really the world leaders today, whereas Toyota still is the world leader. Toyota Motor Company, which started Toyota Production System, which ultimately got converted into Lean, is even today world number one. Whereas Motorola is not, General Electric is not. They are maintaining their profitability and all. Why? The specific focus at Toyota, or for that matter every organization who is adopting Lean, is on always what is the customer expecting from us. How we can make customer experience better and better. Maybe if there are new products or new technology coming in the market, then the customer will move to a different supplier, not because he is not happy with your quality, because the product itself or the new technology itself is much better. And there is a live example. People are moving away from our fossil fuel driven cars, that is petrol cars, diesel cars, to the EVs, electrical vehicles. Not because that they are not happy with the performance of diesel cars or petrol cars, but because a very different technology altogether, that is electrical vehicles, is giving them a much better experience in terms of fuel efficiency, in terms of cost, in terms of acceleration, in terms of speed, in terms of stability, in terms of comfort. Can you see that? So the focus, and that, my dear friends, Muthukumaranji, Hari, Pradeep, that Lean says, and I want all of us to be experts in that, do not only improve what you already have, which is what the primary concern of Six Sigma is, but also keep looking what new technologies customer is looking forward to. And for that matter, I appreciate Akanksha for being associated with this alternative energy, renewable energy thing. So the future is, my dear friends, is into renewable energy, sustainable energy. So if you are able to see where the customers are focusing their aspirations, you find ways to provide them what they value. That, my dear friends, is the meaning of providing more and more of what customer wants. And the phrase here is value creation. Everyone agreeable with me? Show me a thumbs up. The phrase here is value creation, while consuming less and less of resources. And the phrase here is waste elimination. How you will be able to consume less and less of resources? Just think about it. How will you be able to consume less and less of resources? If you are able to identify that, okay, this particular activity or this particular raw material or this particular process stage is waste, is not value adding. Any activity or any bit and piece of raw material that you consume, any process stage that you are doing is not adding value in the eyes of the customer, that is to be identified as a non-value adding activity. Ashwin, do you agree with that? And that has to be eliminated. So therefore, this whole sentence that is there, my dear friends, on your screen, and I will request Ashwin to read this out.
Lean is providing more and more of what customer wants while consuming less and less of resources.
Perfect. So this full sentence, if I want to summarize into two cornerstones, one is called value creation and another is called waste elimination. Is that clear to all of us? Value creation and waste elimination. Also, I will contradict myself in another 1 minute, because it is not only about waste elimination. It is the elimination, really it is the elimination of wasteful activities, which we learn when we see the concept of 3M. 3 Japanese words, all of them starting with alphabet M, and they are about wasteful activities. And waste is only one of the 3 wasteful activities. So from now onwards, and I want all of you to please type